Hello, stats team. I want to show you how to copy the course and hopefully help you with setting everything up, making sure that it's all correct. Now, first thing that you want to do, make sure you go to the master course and you should be able to find that. I'm nearly certain you all have access to it. If not, just let me know. I can add you quick. You then want to go to the menu over here under packages and utilities down here. Choose course copy, and then you want to choose the course that you're going into. I'm doing my second one, this one here. And at this point, you have to make a decision. So for my in-person classes, I'm just going to copy the learning content here. I'll skip the discussions, but if you'd like to use the discussions, you can choose the discussion board. And the one last thing is the grade center columns and settings. I have them weighted in the same way as the syllabus template. They're all in order as well, so it might save you a little bit of time if you choose that one as well. Everything else I'm not choosing because most of the things are on Pearson, so you just want to copy those two or those three if you want to do the discussions. Once you have that, just double checking, just press submit, and it takes a little bit of time for that to go through, usually just a couple minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to the course, fall 24, and this one. I don't like the this course home as the first page that students see. I prefer going to the learning content, so I'm going to switch that right away. If I go to customization down here and then teaching style, the entry point here, it says course home. I'm going to just change that to learning content. Makes it, I think, a little bit easier for students, but feel free to do whatever you want. It is your courses, so you can do whatever you'd like with them. So now I think it just said it copied them successfully, so I'll move on to the next step. You go into the course. There's some automatic things that are already here. I usually get rid of the extra stuff, especially for my in-person, because they won't be using this. I'm going to just hide this one for now. But you see, everything's here. I put links to Pearson, so this is where they access their homework. I put one here, and then I put one in the welcome material. The example syllabus is here. I changed a couple things from what I sent you. This is an example of what, if I were teaching an in-person class, this is, or if I were teaching an online class, this is what I would use. So I highlighted the stuff that's specific to me, so you'd want to change that stuff. I'm going to take the syllabi that I made for my in-person classes and just upload them in the same spot there. But check that out. Make sure you read through it. There's lots of resources on there. I have this general questions. I'm going to get rid of this for my in-person class because I hope they ask me questions in person instead of through a discussion board. And yeah, down here also I'm just getting rid of this one because it's in person. But the next step is to get Pearson set up, and it's a little bit specific, so just be careful when you're doing this. I just want to follow my instructions. So yeah, click either of the links work, either this one or the one on the learning content page. Choose this My Lab and Mastering. and then choose Get Started. And I think I have to allow pop-ups here, yeah. Choose Get Started. So here, you don't want to copy this course. This is a specific subsection of it. So press No, create another course. And then we're going to select from a course ID. Just going to type in Yerger 53210. And search. And that one comes up. We'll select this one. I'll choose member section, and I'm going to type in introductory statistics math 150 fall 2024, and section, this is 02. You'll just change the section number. I'm just going to start it today. It doesn't really matter when you start it. And I'll go to the end of December. It should be all right. And I usually always just choose this just in case someone would want to copy a specific section. Yeah, so then choose Create Course. And we have to wait a little bit at this point as well. So in the meantime, I just want to show you a couple other things on the course. Feel free to change any of the language here if you want to put something else. If you're not planning on using Excel, you can get rid of this stuff. Here, though, is the Excel files. I put videos with these as well, just kind of like how to use them. In general, though, I'll just show you one of them. In general, it's set up like this. So you have gray cells, and then you have just white cells. So the gray cells are the ones that students should change, and the white cells are ones that are pre-programmed. So they're kind of adaptive, as in if there's nothing there, they'll end up being blank, and if there are things in the specific places, they'll actually compute it for them. So yeah, let me know if you ever have questions with those. I like using them. I know it's pretty different from how some of you might have been using Excel in the past. I know there's built-in packages and functions that you could teach as well. If you want to teach it that way, totally fine. This is what I use in my classes. It's kind of more similar to StatCrunch, as in like it's built in. You just take the data and it then spits out the information pretty quickly. Other than that, the tests are a little bit different than what we've done in the past. I have these practice tests here. I made them in Pearson because, well, I had made them originally in Blackboard, and then with us switching to D2L in just a year, I was like, oh, I'm going to be doing all this work and then have to switch it over again. So I just did it in Pearson, hopefully to save a little bit of time when we get to fall of 2025 when we're switching the platforms. But you can see them here. There's test part 1 and test part 2. Part 1 is closed notes. They can't use any website. They can't use any technology. I believe, yeah, I'm sure actually that there's like a scientific calculator or just like a basic calculator to do like division or multiplication if they would need it for questions on that first part. But that's the only technology that they can use on the first part. It's more just like the language of statistics and making sure that they get the concepts. They're able to communicate things. And then part 2 is more of the technology part, seeing if they can read a problem, figure out what technology to use, and get the statistics from the technology, and then explain what they've found and what they've done. Typically, the second part is a lot harder for students, even though it is open notes, open technology. I'm going to change the questions likely every semester so that students aren't able to communicate from semester to semester and have an unfair advantage. I always take the questions and copy them into Google, see if they're on Chegg, and then if they do end up on Chegg, I send a removal request right away. But yeah, that's how the tests are. That's kind of the only other big change. I put notes in here. Kind of the checklist learning outcomes are pretty much the same. The notes are a little bit different. You can check them out. I typically do unfilled notes and then filled notes. In my in-person classes, I encourage students to print them out if they want to, or if they have an iPad, just download it and then write along when we're going through class. And then this is the completed ones have annotations on them. This is the stuff that I would write on the board. Normally write a lot more on the board, but you'll see it's like a note taking, just to help them with note taking. Yeah, if you see any errors in anything, just let me know. I'm sure there are mistakes, so please let me know. I'm not perfect. I'm far from it, but if there are mistakes, we can fix them. Okay, I think it's linked, so let's go back to this, and then we have to finish setting this up just to make sure that it's all correct. Yeah, okay, so the next page. Okay, so we have to go back to that same link and then open the My Lab and Mastering. And we want to go to, here's what it looks like when you get in here. It does look a little different for students, just so you know. If you go to Instructor Tools and then go to Instructor Gradebook and then choose Grade Sync Settings, this one here. We want to choose assignment weighted scores here, not the raw scores. Change it to the weighted scores. And then we want to also uncheck the practice tests. So there's 6 of them. Those two, and these 2. And then click Save. One thing I just want to mention is the assignment weighted scores. I'm clicking that so that it matches the gradebook in Blackboard. If not, you'll have slight disparity between the two. So click Save, and it should give me a message. Updates saved. Okay, great. Okay, so now go back to this tab here. Go to this Grade Sync tab and choose Automatic Grade Sync. Click OK on that one. And then we're going to choose all of these here. And I always like to double check, make sure everything is there. Sometimes if you do it too quickly, they might not all be there. So just double check that. Okay, yeah, so then that's good. And the only other thing, if you decide not to use the discussions, you want to get rid of this discussions folder as well. And I just want to double check. I'm going to just get rid of these as well, since these are in person. But yeah, feel free to do really whatever you want with the discussions. Either don't do them, or if you want to try your own, I'm totally fine with that. Okay, cool. So let me know if you have any issues. with setting things up. If you have any issues with when you're looking through the content or any questions, any student issues, just let me know. I'm here to help, and I really hope this semester goes well. I'm sure there will be some bumps, but hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully everything goes all right. So stay in touch and let me know if you have issues.